Hello, welcome to the newspaper review here on Top TV. Today is Friday. Yes, it's the start of the weekend. Hope you're ready to enjoy your weekend. Mr. Victor Sioku is our current affairs analyst, and together we're going to do the headlines here on the newspaper review. Are you getting ready for the weekend?
Yeah, I just want to rest.
Yeah, I mean, there are many matches lined up for this weekend too. I'm sure you're also going to.
I just want to rest. I can't wait to be home.
I want to be like you, but the economy is not really making.
Oh my brother!
Take that break.
Sometimes you want to take a break, and you just have to that extra push because you got bills to pay.
It's from your dream that you will be seeing your account and how it's depleting, so you get up and start moving. All right, I want to welcome you viewers to the newspaper review. And if this is the first time you're seeing this video, this is where we'll be bringing you the headlines across newspapers around Nigeria. So do well to be a part of it by dropping your comments and your reactions on the comment section. Follow us on all our social media handles. We're on Facebook as Top TV. On Instagram is Top TV _NG. And on Twitter is at Top TV. So connect with us on all of this platform. And don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube by clicking on the subscribe button. And of course, your notification key, because that's the only way you get notified whenever we put up a new episode of this program and many other programs we air here on Top TV. All right, we'll begin today's newspaper reading from this day newspaper for today, the 7th day in the month of October 2022. And on this day here, we see at the top part of that paper, it says Dangote cement closure. Man berates Kogi governor. Says action illegitimate, anti-business. State, no payment was paid, vows to recover company. Right, details is on this day newspaper. Other headline here on this day, it says Wike set to assent motion stripping Omehia of former governor title. Lawmakers order Omehia to refund 696 million naira benefit. Rivers withdraws criminal suit against Amechi Coal. Orders. Right. Buhari meets 23 freed Kaduna train victims, charges service chiefs to replicate success. Appreciates military for bravery. Lists unprecedented acquisition of military platforms, hardware in 7 years. Says he inherited nation at crossroads with bombs going off at frightening frequency, even in cities. Bajabiamila commends federal government armed forces. Khan hails president, security agencies over release. Military vows to track down train bombers. Right, that's all the headlines we'll be taking on this day newspaper. Mr. Victor, my eye caught this very interesting headline here that is highly related to River State, our state, and it's the headline that is talking about Wike sets to assent motion stripping Omehia of former governor title. That's a very, I don't know how to describe that story. It's surprising and shocking. Yeah, I mean, I'm in shock to see that. And I'm wondering because this is Omehia that was, being denied of this former governorship title before Wike got into office. And just a few years back, Wike, decided to honor him with the title and say, oh, yes, he's, a former governor and all entitlements should be duly paid to him and everything, like he should be honored and seen as a former governor. Why the sudden change? What's going on?
I'm as confused as you, okay? But for our viewers, I would like them to know who Celestine Omehia is, okay? So he was once a commissioner during the regime of Peter Dele. Peter Dele was a governor from 1999 to 2007. Yeah. So Celestine Omehia was a commissioner and a commissioner for education, actually, okay? And he hails from Ikwere local government, which is part of the Ikwere, okay? And not just so far from the Port Harcourt city, that's from Obiakpo local government area. So during his time, mind you, during his time as commissioner, we also had Amechi as the Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
Okay. So just after the tenure of Peter Dele, he was declared governor. Okay. Yes. Well, before I get to that point, so he was declared governor in May 29, 2007. But well, I say unfortunately for him or the party, his name was he replaced the candidate of Rotimi Amechi, who legitimately won the primaries of the PDP. But due to graft issue and all that, some just like confusing issue that is happening right now, the candidate of Amechi was removed and replaced by Celestine Omehia. Then Amechi went to court, and down to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court relinquished him, as in cancelled him from becoming the governor of Rivers State. Beforehand, he stayed in office from May 29, 2007 to October 25th, 2007. That's almost about 6 months or thereabouts that he stayed as governor. Then he was removed. Then Amechi continued his tenure. But you know, ask, Nigeria is quite complex, especially in our judiciary. You know, ask, between that May 29th to May 29, 2007 to May 29 of 20, okay, let's just keep it at 4 years. What I'm trying to say is that from that 2007 to 2011, do you know that on a normal plane, you should have started Amechi should have started a new regime from 25th October 2007. I don't know if you get my point.
Very true.
Because if you check some other states, that is why some of their elections don't come during the normal general election. Sure. Just like right now, we have 28 governors vying for position. What happened to the other 8? Are you getting me? So that is another case on its own by the corner. Now, when the current governor, Yemson Wike, came into power in 2015, just few days as he came into power, he, will I say, I will not use the word abolish the Supreme Court rule, but he made him to be recognized as a former governor. Yeah. And by the title of becoming a former governor, that means that those allowances that is another topic. How many topics have I mentioned? There's another topic to discuss for another day, because these monies that they are giving to the former governors they are so shocking to the state, to the stakeholders, because you wonder, why are we talking about these millions of naira from former governors when you can use these monies for plenty projects? Okay, now, the governors of Rivers State are receiving huge amount that I ask myself, why these monies? What have they done that they should be receiving this amount of money?
These are past governors. They are not current governors.
Down to the speaker, down to down to deputy governors. They award them frivolous amounts of monies. Okay, that aside, you have in 2015 giving him back the title as former governor, meaning that pension, he will be paid pension, meaning that allowances, cars will be given to him. Stewards, aids. Okay, now down to the line, just yesterday, the 6th of October, the house, it needs wisdom. It needs wisdom because it is their own wisdom. Yeah. In their own wisdom, they might yesterday to stripe him off the title of former governor. Just yesterday, who even led the Martin Amewule was the leader of the house, was the one that brought up the case, seconded by the chief whip, that's Evans BP. Then, will I say, stamped by the Speaker of the House. And you know, Rivers State has been a state that many persons out there have been crying that, see, Rivers State House of Assembly, they are all rubber-stamped legislators.
And this is one very moment that argument has been made very clear.
And this happened, there was no opposition.
No opposition.
No opposition, and it's been happening countless times. That house, I don't know what they are doing there, that nobody will oppose anything that
feels
comes
like
to
they
the
were
front of
all
the house.
handpicked by the governor.
Okay.
It feels that way.
Okay.
Because that's not how the house should work. At least let it be that one or two persons would have said, okay, should we reconsider, going this route? But it looks like they all have agreed long before, that proceeding was held, and, the decision has been made.
So, my brother, the question now is, in 2007, the same house, headed by the Ibani.
Okay, yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Headed by Ibani. Ibani was speaker back then. Speaker in this night assembly.
Yeah.
My brother, you guys, you came up together to give him the title. He came out again to withdraw the title. On what ground?
What is going
On what ground? What is happening? So, well, there are strong indications that it's still because of this article palaver, the PDP wahala in Abuja, that is causing all this. Remember, it was reported back into about 2 months ago that some politicians in Rivers State, that their businesses were shut down.
True.
Especially one that has a fuel station, yes, around the
who is also,
Eagle Cement.
A member of the House of Assembly, National House of Assembly.
Yes. So, my brother is back again. They told him that he should go and refund all the whole money that they gave him. And I asked, will Rivers people just fold their hands and just be watching all this happening? Because they are stakeholders. We pay pensions. We pay pensions for them to collect this money because it's Rivers money too. Okay, what's happening? That 695.5 million naira should be refunded.
Yeah.
For how long, my brother? In 7 days.
Okay.
Something that has happened in 8 years. You've been giving this money for 8 years. It should be refunded in 7 years, in 7 days. How possible is that? Is this not witch hunting? My brother, it is unfortunate. I need to tell the top men there in the government, including the governor. Mr. Governor, there'll be time that you will no longer be a governor. You'll be, awarded
somebody else
the title of former governor. Somebody else will be in power.
If they give you the same pill, would you be able to swallow?
Yes.
I mean, this is harsh.
Yes.
I mean, in fact, stripping the man of the title of former governor. In fact, the guy was there on his own. Even though, let's say maybe he was crying on the ground as to, oh, man, I worked for 6 months. I gave Rivers State my all. I did this and that in 6 months, and I'm not being recognized. And okay, so let's say he's been saying that, behind the scene, and then you came in and said, okay, all right, I'm going to make you recognized, and then you went ahead to do it. The guy didn't really, I never heard him throw any tantrums on TV or on radio about him not being former governor. And then you gave it to him. Then suddenly you removed it. That's enough disgrace. And then now you go about saying, return the money in 7 days. Okay, let's say he brings that money in 7 days. Won't EFCC come after him? 606 million naira, over $500 million naira. It's not small money. It's not small money, and we don't know where he will get that kind of money and bring it. So they are heading for another show that we're going to hear next, or that he was unable to bring it, so he's been accosted or arrested, You want to add?
Well, yes, because my problem with the State House is that, the State Assembly is that they are the ones that said yes, and they are also the ones that said no. Then I ask, when taking this side, who takes responsibility of these actions? The people or Omehia? The State House needs to take responsibility. They need to come out and tell Rivers people why they have done this and the consequences that they should face. Because you can't just make this kind of, in quote, will you call it mistake? Will you call it mistake? The law has been there. The Supreme Court has declared him that he is not a governor. And he should not be noted as a governor, a former governor. You came on your own in 2015 to say, no, former governor, you're former governor. You carried his poster, his frame, his picture frame, and hung.
All the other governors.
Yes. It is very, very shameful.
It is. And unfortunate too that this kind of thing is happening in this modern day.
In a time like
this. And a lot of people are just watching.
Funny enough, it didn't even make it to the news as a headline. It's just a sub-story. So the world is not paying attention to such high level of, I don't know whether to injustice, I may call this. I don't know. It's very disturbing. It's a very disturbing thing that is happening. And for me, living in River State, this is a strange thing. I've never seen this before. I've never heard it anywhere.
No, it has not happened before. Mr. Governor, it has never happened before.
This is the first time.
For me, he's denting his name. He's denting his name by doing all this.
You know, Wike has always been seen as somebody that is always getting it right in the way he, goes about politicking and the way he has challenged the federal government, both his party and many other governors that have, been going about governance the wrong way. But with these moves, recently he has been receiving a lot of accusation as to appointments in key positions within state academic sectors, and now
Yes.
this within the same space of 2 weeks. I don't think this is the right move for him. He should leave the office on a very high note. I mean, for me personally, I have a lot of respect for the governor. I love him for my own personal reasons, for the way he has, run things here.
Especially
but
in
with
projects.
yes, in terms of project, his confidence and his courage to deal with certain things that most times governors will not handle.
Yes.
He has been very, very bold enough to come out and say, he's very outspoken. He's not really scared of many people that want to oppress or shut him down. So I love him for those qualities. But for this, man, this is a low for me. I'm not enjoying this at all, and it's confusing. I mean, it makes it feels like, nobody has a choice as to what they like anymore. It is what he wants that must be done. We've heard that said about him before, but it's just going ahead to confirm some of these things, and it doesn't make any sense.
And this is democracy.
Yes.
You make your choice.
Anybody
can
that's why we're
can
here.
support anybody.
And that goes on to even indict the House of Assembly even more. We are in a democratic rule. We are not in some military government where, what the leader says is final. That's not the case here. So, yes, that's why this whole thing is somehow, though. I'm not feeling it. But then, this is just our opinion. All right, moving on, we'll go to our next paper for today, and that will be the Daily Sun newspaper. And on the Daily Sun here, we see Ohanaeze to mobilize Igbo for 2023 census. Other headlines on the Sun here, it says, your votes will count, INEC assures electorate. As a major headline on the Daily Sun, it says, the Defense Headquarters reveals how train attack victims regained freedom. Buhari charges service chiefs to do more. Meets freed Abuja-Kaduna train attack passengers. All of that details you find on page 4 and 6 of the Daily Sun. Other headlines here on the Daily Sun, it says 2023 budget, Senate axes NPA, Customs, NEMASA, 7 orders. And that story is on page 25 of the Daily Sun newspaper. And also, APC rules out campaign kickoff. APC rules out campaign kickoff next week as Tinubu returns from London. That story is on page 8 of the Daily Sun. And the very last headline on the very bottom part of the paper here, it says, Nigerians going through hell over economic hardship. CAN, that's Christian Association of Nigeria. That's not a new story. It's a very old story because, Nigerians have been going through what I describe as more than hardship. It's been hellish here. And I keep saying surviving in Nigeria every day is a thing where people should carry a small goat and go to church and thank God every day, because it's been tough out here. But then other headlines that I'd like us to look at, we see here, APC finally is ready to kick off their campaign as Jagaban returns. What's the reaction to that?
Jagaban is back.
He's back in town.
Yeah, came in yesterday just about some minutes past 6. Okay, and he came in coming down their private jet. I don't know if it was a private jet, but it was just coming down and people were just waving him, hailing him. And for the optics, he was raising his hand and he was waving it,
quite
waving it in a very coordinating way.
Trying to shame all those people that said he cannot raise his hands. He
exactly.
raises his hands now. He looks very, for me, he looked very healthy.
Yeah, he got that rest that he needed.
But it's about to get really heated. The campaigns will require that he will travel around the country.
Yes.
And not just travel around, you will go to rallies where you will shout on top of your voice and do a lot of physical, work.
Yes.
In trying to garner votes. So I hope he's ready. He's returning. His return, hope he's really, really healthy and ready to do all of that work.
And I know that in the coming days, although they wanted to start the campaign proper October 10th, but mind you, they also needed to release their manifesto at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's so likely that the day will be pushed. Unfortunately for the APC, they are always postponing things. But I just pray after this time around, they should stay with the schedules, because man, Nigeria has suffered so much that our past When I say our past leader or just this current government, they have been postponing things. Okay, so and we do not have the patience. Go out on the street, you find out that persons out there, they don't have the patience to wait for Nigeria to keep postponing days that things will have to change. Okay, so I just pray that they will use this. They will use this because they've been blasted so well. So they should just mend their ways and kick off so that everybody will join along.
Yeah, that's very true. And how would you react to the story of the released victims of the train attack? I mean, these are the last of the ones that were remaining. Finally, there is an end to this very long, horroring, episode of kidnap of the train victims. How would you react to that?
Yeah, it's a good thing that they were released. Thank God the 23 didn't lose their life. Nobody among them lost their lives. But yeah, we are also asking. Yes, the military has been well congratulated from all sides.
Yeah.
Even the Christian Association of Nigeria, they have congratulated them. The president, who also was with these victims, also has been congratulating them, down to the spokesperson, Minister of Information, the Defense Ministry, the Defense Headquarters. But I also ask, is it that they cannot tell us how
they released this
it really happens? Were they paid ransom? Okay, in as much as they quoted that they were released on the basis of humanitarian action or humanitarian grants. Okay, but it's unfortunate they've already failed the families of these persons, because it will also take years
for these guys
to recover.
Yeah, I mean, it's an unimaginable situation that these people found themselves. I mean, they didn't ask for that. They didn't deserve any of that. But I mean, look at the price, the very steep price they have to pay, for a country to get better. And yet we are still nowhere close to getting better. But then it's very sad and happy situation. We're happy the fact that they were all released and none of them lost their lives and all of that. But then how much are we doing to forestall this kind of occurrence? We don't want to see this. I mean, we're getting into the festive period where there will be a lot of travels. There will be a lot of activities. Festive period here in Nigeria is very, very, very packed up with, and also tense, because we people are uncertain of what it will be like. And funny enough, this is also an electioneering year. So we don't know the plans of these bandits. We've heard them threatening severally before now, saying that there will be no elections in certain parts of the country. We don't want this, we don't want that. So we don't know. So how much, it's good enough to commend the military, but how much are they also doing to prevent this kind of occurrence? Because whether we like it or not, people will still want to move around. They'll move goods and lives around. And the train has been a very affordable and very cool way of doing this. But with that attack, it has really made a lot of people avoid that. And don't also forget that the air services are so exorbitant at the moment that people really will, people will, most times want to avoid using air, not because they don't want to, because it's too high. I mean, just to fly to Abuja and back, you're spending close to 200K. Where are you getting that kind of money from if you're not a multi-billionaire or millionaire? So, and those are the things, I hope the government and the military are also looking at, and also beef up security to ensure that people are, go about this time very freely. Yeah. All right, we're going to take our last paper for today, but that will be right after the short break. You stay tuned and join us as we continue with our papers after the break.
Now that you have registered for your PVC, it doesn't stop there. Ensure you pick up your PVC. Be alert. Join many Nigerians to vote credible leaders that will change the tide of this nation. Do not sell your vote. Remember, this is our future. Your vote is your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited.
All right, welcome back from that short break, and want to thank you very much for staying with us up to this time. We're still here doing the newspaper review on Top TV. And for the break, we wanted to take our last paper for the day, and that is Nigerian News Direct for today, the 7th day of October 2022. And on Nigerian News Direct, we see as the headline here, Obajana acquisition. Kogi moves to recover cement company from Dangote. Alleges Dangote utilized Kogi C of O for 63 billion naira loan. Man condemns invasion by vigilante. Right, that's the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. Condemns invasion by vigilante. Other stories here on Nigerian News Direct. We see cultists invade Ogun communities. 2 dead, vehicles vandalized. Has the major headline on Nigerian News Direct. We see here economic growth. CBN disburses 2.1 trillion naira for 426 real sector support facility projects. Says developing SMEs to support and foreign exchange its key focus. All of that is on page 2 of Nigerian News Direct. Other headlines on Nigerian News Direct here, we see why COWLSO is investing in education welfare of the vulnerable. Sanwo-Olu. Also, smear campaign will not prevent Tinubu getting to Aso Rock. Chairman, APC Ghana, speaking there if you need to get details. All right, Nigerian News Direct is the paper. All right, Mr. Victor, I wanted to talk about the acquisition of Dangote Cement in Kogi State. It says Obajana acquisition. Kogi moves to recover cement company from Dangote. What's your reaction to that story?
Very heart-wrenching because Kogi has not really been the government of Kogi they've not been will I say smart in doing business. Kogi is a ground of so much fertile. Yeah. It's such a fertile ground with natural resources, with human capacity, human beings. The beings of people in Kogi is enough for them to use the people to industrialize the state. But unfortunately, Kogi is totally impoverished. I repeated it the other time. Between Kogi government and Abia State government, I do not know which one is better. What is happening? Dangote has been a company that has been bringing in, if not billions, yes, now billions of investment and billions of tax to Kogi State in general. And mind you, the company alone employs thousands of workers from the state. Yeah. Now there are issues that I think that they were supposed to have settled within themselves and not coming out in the public to show us their buttocks. My brother, they are saying that Dangote did not do proper agreement with them, that they want to collect back their land. And I'd be like, how now? As big as Dangote, how? I know Dangote will not be making such a, will I say, mistake. Because this contract has been running since 2003. That they even had a supplementary contract again, that they had to adjust some things. What is happening? They are saying that Dangote, through the land, went out to get loan, about 60-something billion naira loan. And they have not been getting anything from the Dangote in quotes, meaning taxes that Dangote is not paying them, the taxes that they should pay. And before you know it, there was shooting. Reported case of shooting there. The boys now came in, as in the Obajana community now came in and closed the factory. The factory where Nigeria depends solely for, not just solely though, enormously for cement, because they have the limestone there. Then you ask, what is the government of Bello doing? Oga is there screaming that they will sue Dangote for for invading their land, collecting their land. But you gave him C of O. At the same time, you gave him I think about 10 C of O. The one that is causing this issue is 3 C of O's. They have another one of 7 C of O's. But you gave them this C of O. Why don't you, and I ask, why don't you check out the repercussions the negative side of this
The impact,
conflict
yeah, because it's
on
going to
your
impact
people.
on them negatively,
Yes.
highly.
Kogi is
The
suffering.
loss of jobs.
Kogi does not have money.
Mm.
Kogi is suffering. No jobs. You are not employed. Education, health. So this particular area, and you know that you need to sort this thing out in the best possible way, because you also need foreign direct investment. People are out there, investors are out there looking at what is happening. And I'm sure there is no how some investors have not come to Kogi State to find ways to do business there. And when they are seeing reports like this, shameful reports like this, it pushes them back. So I just pray that they should come back together as quickly as possible to mend these things.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it shows that Kogi does not welcome investors, as far as I'm concerned.
Even local investors.
Yes.
Like Dangote,
Yes.
yeah.
So they should sort this thing out.
I totally agree with you. They should sort it out and on time too, because it will lead to a lot of loss of jobs for their youths there in Kogi State. Because I don't think that they have a lot of people outside the state working at the facilities or the factory there. Most of the people employed in the facility are indigents of that place. And with all of this crisis, it will mean that these people will be sitting at home, probably, and it's going to really impact highly negatively on the Kogi State economy. So they should resolve on time, because Dangote is an internationally recognized company, and I feel that they have the best legal team to, go through this process. So why? They should go to a round table and resolve it on time. All right, Mr. Victor, I want to thank you so much for making it to the program.
Thank you, sir.
And to our viewers, thank you for staying with us up to this time. But that's all we'll be taking today on the Newspaper Review. So join us next time as we continue with the reviews here on TAF TV. My name is William Sabule. See you next time.